Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
And I think that just did not exist. I mean, Gina Carano sort of caught it a little bit, but she was gone before it really caught fire, you know. And then when she lost to Cyborg, there was a lot of like weird feelings about that, because there's all these speculations that Cyborg was on drugs, and then they looked at Gina Carano and she was all beat up afterwards, and that left this sort of weird taste in people's eyes.
I understand that, and I think that
taste in their eyes.
Their eyes were tasty. No, I think that there's something to that. I think it's unfortunate, because I know Chris Cyborg, you know, I was the matchmaker, you know, with Invicta when she was fighting for us, and I was there for her weight cuts, and I saw some of her struggles, and what a kind person she is. Just a genuinely kind person. But then there's this persona of toughness, and her saying this kind of thing to Ronda, or she's saying this to Gina, and then they're saying it back, and it's this, that, you know, and it's just like, for some reason, I never thought she got the respect that was due, but at the same time, then she did fail a drug test. So it was like, unfortunately, you carry the burden of having your entire legacy be questioned when you mess up like that.
But we know what the human body looks like. You know what a female body looks like, and you know what someone looks like when they most likely have been introducing male hormones into a female body. I
understand what you're saying, because we know what we think is normal, or what a female body is like. But I would say that we know what a male body looks like too.
Yeah, we know that some dudes.
And I mean, you look at somebody who's like perfect physique, Sage Northcutt. I mean, is everybody speculating that he's on steroids because he looks a certain way? Because I met the kid when he was a kid, and he looked like that.
The problem with that line of thinking is that he's a male.
Right.
And that he has natural testosterone, and that you can accentuate natural testosterone pretty significantly, especially if you're someone like a Kevin Randleman,
right,
or, you know, like a Marvin Eastman, who just has this extreme mesomorphic build. There's a lot of people that are built that way that don't do anything illegal. There's not a lot of women that are.
Yeah, when we do the eye test like that, like I completely understand that. I guess I wanted to believe.
Of course.
That I wanted to believe that Cyborg was drug-free, and now I believe that she is. I believe that she's not.
Currently.
Yeah, I believe that she's, whatever happened in that time, in 2011, she has rectified it. She's passed all of her I guess something happened. I'm not really, because it was with the UFC with some kind of test, but it turned out it was with her birth control pills or something.
What, more recently? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something happened with her birth control, or something happened there, but...
No, it's spironolactone.
It's spironolactone.
And which is a DHT inhibitor, or dihydrotestosterone inhibitor, that is used for a bunch of different reasons. It's used as a diuretic. It's used for people combating the effects of anabolic steroids, for females combating the effect. It's used for cysts. It's used for a bunch of different possible reasons to use it.
I think, because I think I've known somebody who's been on that for cystic acne before. So I understand. I don't understand what happened in all of that. And I would love to, I need to read about it. I'd love to know more about it. It wasn't in my sphere of interest exactly then. But, you know, pre-2011 drug test, I wanted to believe she was natural, because I wanted to believe in her and believe that somebody could be that vicious and ferocious and wonderful like that, and take the idea of women fighting to a different level. And when she tested positive for the it was
steroids.
Stands something in 2011.
Stanozolol,
so whatever,
like that.
and then I was heartbroken, because first of all, you know, it was just like there was this. I didn't believe anymore, and then I got to meet her actually in a professional setting, and I got to know her as a person. And you realize that when you know people, it's a lot more nuanced. And I believe in you as a person, and not you know what I mean.
Well,
like,
I've believed in a lot of guys that turned out to be taking steroids.
Yeah, and it's weird to associate. I guess I never.
Well, you're a nice person. You're kind. Well, you wish for the best.
I do, but I also wish for the best for women all the time, and that we're not going to mess up.
Right,
and
but if you do wish for the
mess
best
up.
for women, wouldn't you definitely want to take a hard stance against someone who's introducing male hormones into a female body? And that, you know, also the problem with that is a lot of the effects are permanent. Like a lot of the effects of a woman altering her physiology with male hormones, there's a certain amount of those effects. And this is also argued against men taking steroids. There's a certain amount, and there's been tests about this. This isn't just speculation. That certain amount of physiological changes are permanent when you take steroids, because you're introducing these hyper human levels of testosterone to a male system, and things change. Bone density changes.
Right.
The shape of your body changes. The tendon strength changes.
Right, and your testicles shrink, and certainly because you don't have the ability to like produce
but
this
see
kind
that comes back, like the testicular atrophy. It's like it's really the shutdown of the endocrine system, but that comes back, and when it comes back, there's a certain amount of the improvements that you've received because of those steroids that you will keep forever.
Oh, really? So
Yes.
even when you're in that like
Exactly.
post-steroid area, okay.
Yes, which is one of the things that infuriates people that have been clean their whole life, is that someone can test positive and then they continue on their career, even if they are not taking steroids now, they have a benefit. They have a permanent benefit of taking those illegal drugs.
That sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
there's nothing like I can say like that would champion that being a
Right.
good thing. It's not a good thing, but I will say that, like, she did not test positive the entire, since 2011. And so if there was that advantage in something like that, we saw somebody like Urena Bersh in kickboxing still work against that and still find victory.
Right.
So I don't know.
But should someone have to work against that? First of all, the Jorina Barge fight was a testament to Cyborg's courage and,
Yes.
and fighting spirit, that she took that fight because nobody wanted to fight Jorina for a long time. And if you don't know who Jorina Barge is, if you watch her Muay Thai fight, she's some ungodly number of fights she's had. She's a multiple-time world champion, and she's just so stunningly technical as a fighter. But, you look at them physically, they look very, very different. Cyborg is just this attacker, berserker style, and fought a very good fight
She
against
did. It was
a girl that nobody
incredible.
wanted to fight.
It was a wonderful fight.
Yeah, it was a fantastic
That's
fight.
like one of those fights, even in a loss, like
Her stock
you
came
can't,
up.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, Cyborg thinks I hate her. Look, I think she's awesome. I'm a fan, and I tweeted this many times along that the UFC needs to make a 145-pound women's division. But there's also some realities that you have to address, and those realities have to be addressed for the other women that haven't done anything as well, just to look up for them.
I think you're right about that. I think that when people test positive, I think that the penalties have to be harsh. They have to be hard. And I don't know what's going on with the new testing and stuff like that. I'm not in the know when it comes to the UFC. I'm no longer on a team. You know what I mean? It's like everything I do, I read through MMA media now. So I don't know who's testing what and what's going on. But I will say that the men had been doing it for so long as well. So should men who were clean have to have fought against men who were dirty?
Very good question, and a lot of people think they shouldn't.
Yeah, so I don't know what we do about clean slating it at this point.
And it's also, is it the same thing? Is a man taking male hormones the same as a woman taking male hormones?
Well, if the man already has the male hormones, right? Wouldn't that be even more of an increase than a woman taking? Because if a woman,
No.
Okay.
No, because a woman's adjusting her physiology and becoming masculine, whereas a man is becoming more masculine. There's a shift literally in the body structure that happens to women when they start taking testosterone.
Yes.
That's why a transgender man goes from a woman to a man, all of a sudden grows a beard
Right.
like Chaz Bono. It changes the shape of your face, changes the tone of your voice. Your voice gets deeper. So many different factors play in it. It really depends on. There's a rainbow, like a broad spectrum of dosages. Like who knows how much you're taking, how long you're taking it for, and then there's also massive negative consequences health-wise for women.
That's what's. It's already hell on your body to fight, and it's hell on your body to be a female athlete. In many ways, it's wonderful and encouraging. But you're right, and I don't have an answer for that. I don't think there's a clean slate. I do think that Chris Cyborg is in the position right now with her career, and with the things that have been questioned about her, the things that have been done. She has actually the opportunity now to really spearhead making it all clean. And coming forward with whatever happened in the past with this I forgot the name of it.
Spironolactone.
Yeah,
well,
all of
that's
that.
less
But
of a concern because
yeah.
that's not really a performance-enhancing drug. The spironolactone is not performance enhancing.
Okay.
It's not like the
so
other stuff
then
was.
It wasn't a failed test then.
Well,
Or
it's not prohibited, or it is prohibited, but she could get a therapeutic use exemption.
Did she? I think she did.
They
Didn't she?
believe they're doing
Okay.
that or in the process of
Okay.
trying to do that. Maybe it has been cleared. But what that means is, look, it's not hurting anybody she competes against. It's not that. It's just they don't like people taking it because it can mask some of the effects of androgens in the female body. And it also, as a diuretic, diuretics are illegal because diuretics also can mask some of the potential properties of testosterone or hormones or
That's
steroids
why they did
that
away
you're
with all
taking.
the IV rehydration.
Yes.
I was the only person who liked IV rehydration.
You're the only one? No, I think there's a lot of people that liked it. A lot of people
loved
liked
it. And I was clean I hate to say that I was clean my whole life, but I was possibly because nobody ever offered me anything.
If somebody offered you steroids, you think you would have taken it?
I don't know. I look back now and I'm like, I wonder. Because I wonder how many other women were.
Yeah, what if it was back in the day like the Wild West, like Pride days? Like Pride days were the Wild West. Like during Pride, like I talked to Ensign Inoue. He described about his contract literally in capital letters said, "We will not test you for steroids." And Ensign was laughing about it. It was like fucking everybody was on shit back then.
You know, I to that question, I think I probably would have. If I'd have been offered it, I don't know. But then you think about that, and then you think about, okay, 2011 was just on the cusp of it being the Wild West, right? So if she did take steroids, if she was on something, isn't that just what everybody else was trying to do? I don't know.
Some people were. I don't think Gina was doing it.
Oh, I don't think Gina did it at all. No.
But some women definitely did,
I
for
think
sure.
they did. I mean, you look at the old pictures, the fighters, the generation before me, and I'm not throwing out accusations. I'm just saying people with musculature, like Becky Levi and people like that. You kind of wonder, like, okay, how much of that was, you know?
Sure. Well, I know girls that just compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments that do testosterone. I mean, they just want to be stronger and better, and there's no money in it. They're just trying to get an edge, and it's kind of weird. You know, it's weird. It's it's amateur. And no one's testing, and they say everyone's doing it, so they're doing it. So you go, okay, like I got no position on this. I mean, I don't know what to say. But when it comes to MMA and when it comes to professional sports, and back then, if it was the Wild West, I'm sure a lot of people were doing it, you know? But Chris Cyborg became sort of the poster girl when she looked the part and then tested positive.
Right. What I mean, what do we do with that now?
That's a good question.
What do we do with that now? Like,
what
because
do you do with it?
I think she's a phenomenal woman. I think she's a kind and good woman and a wonderful fighter for people to look up to. So I don't know what you do with that now. I think that what has to go on the table is just we take everything by what happens today. And if a person doesn't test positive, we take them at their word. Yeah,
the real problem, though, with what's going on today is they're offering these massively steep sentences for people and suspensions for people. So, like, if you get caught, I think the first suspension is like 2 years. And then if you get caught again, it's even deeper. And then 3 years, it's 3 times. If you get caught a third time, it's like life.
You're done.
Yeah. Like the Vanderlei Silva one is the most disturbing one to me because he ran away from a test and they banned him for life. Like that's abusive.
You got to wonder how many other fighters have run away from it, but it just wasn't as public. Like, you know?
Sure. Well, not only that, but when you talk to Chael Sonnen about how sketchy the USADA people were when they came to him, like they made him do it in a broom closet and give blows like this. Is this sterile? Like, who are you? Do you have an ID? Like they don't want to give you ID. They just want to test right away, and you just have to listen to them.
I kind of understand in the case of him where they may be trying to Hawkeye him a little bit more just because of his past. You know? Yeah. But it is, I don't know. I don't know when it comes to regulation who regulates the regulators. Like that is the question, right? Like
that's the question, yeah.
But at the same time, we don't want this taken away from us.
Right.
Like this whole thing, the moments of passion, the Darren Elkins moments, we don't want that taken away from us. And to have that soured by knowing that person
was cheating,
that, you know, I think there's a huge emotional investment to see a clean sport.
Well, how about the grayest of gray areas, which is Vitor Belfort?
Yeah.
They let him.
Yeah.
They let him.
I mean,
he was a testosterone use exemption, and when he was doing it, holy shit, was he fucking terrifying.
He looked like 19-year-old Vitor.
He looked crazier than 19-year-old V. He looked like a demon. I mean, Vitor would come out and just starch everybody. He was smashing people. Wheel kicked Luke Rockhold. Well, we'd never seen him throw a wheel kick in his life. He threw 2 wheel kicks in his entire career. Look at the pictures of him. This is 2007 on the left and 2012 on the left and 2017 on the right.